This is CBS News New York.
Okay, it is the only time of year we actually want to watch the commercials, and plenty of last night's Super Bowl spots hit their mark. Consumer trends analyst Marbue Brown joins me now to discuss some of the ads that worked and some of the ones that just flopped. So, Marbue, good to see you here. Based on some of the reactions so far, what commercials hit, did you think?
Well, look, first of all, Chris, let me say thank you for having me. And, I think that the Lay's ad that is a piggyback from last year's ad that where, the young girl who had found one little potato last year. Now this year, she takes over the reins of the farm. I thought that was a great one. Another one was the Rocket Redfin ad, where it talks about America's needing neighbors like this. That was another great ad. And so we had some of those that didn't have any celebrities in them. The Budweiser ad with the chick that actually was an eagle, a bald eagle. That was another great ad. And then we had something like a star-studded ad like Goodwill Dunkin', right? And, it emphasized a lot of the celebrities, but it just really hit the mark for memorability. Overall, I thought the memorability quotient on the ads this year was way up as compared with other years.
Yeah, last year seemed like kind of a bit down year. I wholeheartely agree with you. I thought the Redfin ad was, as far as overall message and whatnot, was the best ad. But the Dunkin' Donuts, I love their run up, their promotional run up to the actual debut of the ad. When they bring Ben Affleck back to those Boston roots, it's just, to me, it's a very funny, very entertaining ad. And this, to finally see the final product yesterday with Jennifer Aniston and Tom Brady, was what I thought great.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, they did a nice job there.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. So let's talk about the impact of AI, because I think some people, probably myself included, saw some of those AI commercials and you're like, oh, that's a little bit odd. But I said, I guess that's where we're going, right?
Well, look, AI affected the ads in three ways last night. You have the companies that are the purveyors of AI, solutions, like the Open AIs and the Anthropic, which was Claude. You had those kinds of folks, Base 44, and some of those ads really hit the mark. I think the Claude ads that say, hey, advertising is coming to AI. The way they used AI in making those commercials, I think, was absolutely brilliant, right? Now, some of the other ads, I think people were left wondering, what was that all about?
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know that the OpenAI ad really hit the mark there. So we had that one. So we had the folks who were purveyors of AI. Then we had the Svedka commercial, which was actually created, primarily generated by AI. So that's another aspect that we had. But here's an aspect that people aren't really thinking about so much, that ads were created to be consumed by AI bots, right? By AI, chatbots and whatnot. Because bottom line is the advertisers want those like ChatGPT and Claude and all of them wants those properties to be consuming their ads, so that when people are going in and doing searches around these things, they come up in those searches. And so those are three different ways that the AI affected the ads last night.
So let me talk about the old tried and true food and drink. I think arguably the best ad of all time is Hey Kid, Catch Coca-Cola back in the day with Mean Joe Green. But again, you got to, your food and your beverage, the Budweiser, the Budweiser, Clydesdale's another classic. Which food and drink ad did you like?
Well, look, think about the Pepsi ad, for example, where they were doing the takeoff of Coke.
Yeah.
Right? And saying, hey, this is almost like a weird moment for the polar bear doing the taste test and realizing that it thought that Pepsi was better than Coke. That was a brilliant ad, and I think, it went over well. Even the Nerds ad, where it's introducing a new kind of nerd, I thought that was a pretty interesting ad. So, we had a number of those, food and drink ads that kind of hit the spot.
Yeah.
Now, in reverse, when I think about the Instacart ad, and I know that's not just food and beverage.
Yeah.
But that was like, I'm not sure that it was really hitting the mark, right?
Now, for the cast that they had, it was not as funny or as entertaining as I thought it would be.
Yeah. Now, let me give you one last one. The Uber Eats ad where it's the conspiracy theory that football is all about selling food.
Yeah.
I thought that was another cool ad that really hit the mark. And, hey, they did some work to make some of those connections between football and food. And I thought they did a brilliant job there with Matthew.
Last question here before I do let you go. These companies spent a record between $8 to $10 million for a 30-second spot. The investment, was it worth it?
Well, I certainly think it was worth it. But, there's been analyses that have been done that show that these folks make almost $5 for every $1 that they spend. So that's a pretty good ROI.
Yeah.
And, and if you think about it, last night, a lot of those ads weren't just 30 seconds. They were 45, they were 1 minute, there were multiples of them. But and some of these folks have been in the Super Bowl, like T-Mobile's been there for 13 consecutive years. So, I mean, with that, that they're getting a return on their investment. And like I said, there's been analyses that have been done that show that they're making about, $5 for every dollar that they spend. And otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah,
So
definitely a big return on the investment. It makes you think back to the mid-'80s when that one weird ad, you kind of walked away, you're like, what was that? And it was Apple. Some of these really do work. Marbue, great to see you as always. Thank you very much.
Hey, Chris, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciated the time to talk.
Good to see you working the day after the Super Bowl, unlike 26 million other Americans that are calling in sick today. All right. We'll talk soon.
Thank you so much.
You got it. You got it.